First tonight, former President Donald Trump in Grand Rapids today for a campaign stop spurred by the murder of a 25-year-old woman whose confessed killer is in the U.S. illegally. Trump touching down at Ford International Airport earlier this afternoon before eventually making his way to DeVos Performance Hall, where he was met with both supporters and protesters.
Everything I wear is patriotic. I'm a huge patriot. And I can't tell you how excited I am to be here today.
As a trans person myself, Trump and a lot of other Republicans just does not make me feel safe.
Yeah, the big focus of his speech today centered around immigration policies, which was already a key issue in the presidential race, but he tied today's visit to the recent death of Ruby Garcia. Garcia was found dead along US 131 in Grand Rapids on March 22nd. Brandon Ortiz Vite, who Garcia's family told Fox 17 she was dating at the time, turned himself in, and detectives say he admitted to shooting her. He now faces several felonies, including open murder. A spokesperson for ICE confirmed to Fox 17 Ortiz Vite was deported to Mexico in 2020, but re-entered the country illegally. We do have live team coverage of Trump's campaign stop. Our Julie Dunmeyer, she spent the day at a roadside rally outside of DeVos Performance Hall. First, though, we're going to check in with Michael Martin for more on what the former president had to say. Michael.
Max, we're just outside DeVos Place right now. The president getting off stage just about an hour ago, an hour, 10 minutes or so after speaking for about 45 minutes, taking the stage around 2:45 p.m. As you mentioned, the spark that brought former President Donald Trump to West Michigan was the murder of 25-year-old Ruby Garcia. As you mentioned, ICE tells us that he was in the United States illegally. On that note, as staffers with the Trump campaign came into the convention hall that he was set to speak at, they passed out a pamphlet with about a dozen of other Americans who were killed, allegedly at the hands of undocumented immigrants.
Under crooked Joe Biden, every state is now a border state. Every town is now a border town because Joe Biden has brought the carnage and chaos and killing from all over the world and dumped it straight into our backyards.
Now, while this was originally thought to be a Trump rally, that was not the case inside of DeVos Place. We had the supporters and the protesters outside where you will see Julie Dunmeyer coming up. But as we were inside, this focus was meant to be towards law enforcement officials. In fact, we saw at least two from West Michigan, Allegan County Sheriff Frank Baker, as well as Van Buren County Sheriff Dan Abbott.
A lot of people think the out-of-control border just affects our bigger cities like your Grand Rapids, your Detroits and stuff like that. That couldn't be further from the truth. I mean, you heard me talk about the numbers. 10% of our out-of-county population that we're housing are from Mexico or Guatemala. It is bleeding into the rural communities. So when I was asked if I could come here and show what we're seeing in our community and how it's affecting us, I jumped at the chance because I do want everybody to know it is a major issue. It is a major problem.
Both Sheriff Abbott and Sheriff Baker telling me that the situation at our southern border has a direct impact for their areas of West Michigan. Trump also speaking about Leah Gomez, who was also murdered by an undocumented immigrant. That happening in summer of last year. We'll have continuing coverage of former President Donald Trump's visit here in West Michigan. For now, though, in downtown Grand Rapids, Michael Martin, Fox 17 News.
Michael, thank you. And then before Trump took the stage at DeVos Place, we met up with Michigan GOP Chair Pete Hoekstra. He's been endorsed by the former president. That happened during the leadership dispute between two pro-Trump factions earlier this year. Hoekstra echoing Trump's remarks on immigration, saying the issue is top of mind for so many Americans heading into the November election.
The issues on the southern border, have now permeated the whole country. We're feeling in our local communities, whether it's West Michigan or whether it's, whether it's Atlanta, whether it's New York, it's everywhere. We've got to fix this border issue.